players. It's going to be Magic Boy and AcilioN, and they'll be setting up for a pretty much full-on A take here. Utility players outside A ramp, and the other three towards the palace, waiting to burst.
It's going to be a burst of cloud on top of the site. The smokes are deployed only on the jungle side, though, so CT's there still open. JW gets the first kill as well. It's on to MODDII. Bomb's planted quickly. Look at this setup. If they overcommit to Dennis, or if they keep their eyes locked in that direction, it's going to be KRIMZ to pop out. Magic somehow gets away from that with a little bit of magic, dodging all those bullets, but now it still is the kills stacking up for Fnatic. Friis from a distance takes down olofmeister. They're getting so close to that bomb, though. And they do have a kid on KRIMZ. They can commit to this. In fact, he's on it now. So all they have to do is keep AcilioN away from the site at this point in time. He doesn't seem to want to do that. He actually gets 2 kills, but 2 is not enough.
So yeah, pretty standard stuff there. 2 smokes going towards steps and jungle and trying to smoke those guys out while the other 3 players burst out towards palace. It's a pretty simple retake for Fnatic. Obviously, CD Spawn was exposed, so rotations coming in from KRIMZ. Didn't manage to take down Magic Boy straight away. Bomb gets planted, and at that point, it's just a case of isolating the players towards A ramp, body blocking them from taking down any kills whatsoever. Managed to bring it down to a 2-on-1, but at that point, the diffuser already come in. So they will be taking a full EK here, full blocks. And as we enter round number 2, obviously you're going to be purchasing AK-47s next round. You can see Fnatic's buy reflects that as well. They are going to be mowing down the terrorists towards middle. Yeah. Not really much to report, to be honest. As the Mag-7 has been wielded by one of the Fnatic players. That can be very viable on this map as well. Lots of advantageous angles and close range battles are opportune on this one. So I wouldn't be surprised if they took that into the next round as well. But obviously, this is the round where SK, I would assume something more tactical coming in. The fact they didn't buy anything, no P250s or anything like that, means they do get a full arsenal of smoke grenades as well. So interesting to see how they approach this one. But here we go again. That fragging unit I mentioned before, going for that mid control at the beginning of the round. And it's trying to force CT's back, take away vision as KRIMZ goes aggressive. Magic Boy opens it up though. That's big. Takes an olofmeister towards the B bomb site. That's going to spread out the CTs a little bit thinner here.
Yeah, forces flusha back already, which weakens up middle, and they've got 3 players still at the top of that ramp. So now they can start to divide and conquer. cadiaN just making sure his aim is on tracing his teammate while he runs back. He's down on 16 HP, the lowest of anyone that is currently alive, but there are one more member of their team, or there is one more member of their team alive than that of Fnatic, who still sit with the previous buy, P90 and FAMAS up against these AKs. And Magic wants to try and work back into A. Interesting positioning from Fnatic. They've given up the A site to go forward into Palace, which means that they can actually have a really even spread of retake ability on the site, just being so powerful up in that Palace position. Great kill for Magic, therefore, to take down Dennis, because that limits that option. And JW gets cadiaN, but AcilioN compensates by getting flusha. It leaves it in a 4-on-2, but here we go, KRIMZ. Now that he's got this position, they don't know he's here. It's completely unexpected, and look at this. Trigger discipline. 1 spotted, 2 spotted, trace, spray transfer, not too hard with the P90. And suddenly it's a 2-on-2. Friis catches JW, but KRIMZ is going to run forward, and Friis actually betters him with the AK.
Yeah, close round there, but SK coming out on tops with the AKs, coming into the A bomb site. Was a real decent flank there coming in from KRIMZ and Palace. Like he said, very nice trigger discipline. I'm sure that's the replay we're about to see. There it is. He actually spots the player on the bomb site, but he's more interested in AcilioN, who he takes down and able to transfer that nice play into a round victory, though. But they do have enough to actually buy into this round over a very clean anti-eco in the second round. So AWP purchase for KRIMZ. He's gone naked, though. No armor, no grenades, but JW goes down first in towards that window, and cadiaN gets the first kill of the map.
Just Boy this time tries to take the same battle that opened up the round last time. As you said, spread out that defense so significantly that it made mid very, very viable. I did like Fnatic's attempt to try and get forward in Palace. Like, all right, we know they're going to come connector. There's no point trying to sit in the open and hold off every angle. Let's just take one of them away.
Well, you can see the setup from Fnatic now, spreading across the whole map. Turrets are employed. Flusha, with the scout towards speed, is watching for legs crossing. Just wants to do some damage and get a decent call off.
This is interesting now because they're working up catwalk. KRIMZ is going to leave that vent position, but they still have olofmeister in this ladder room. AcilioN jumps it. I'm sure he spotted him, but it doesn't even matter. Look at the shot from olofmeister. Just catches him with a stray through the board. And he's going to get out of there as well. This now gives it up. It's going to cost the rotation because Fnatic is already in place. Good position from Friis, though, to take down KRIMZ. Still have to contend with the fact that flusha is on the site. Bomb gets shut down as well. Shot from catwalk. No smoke to cover it. And suddenly they've got to fight their way back into a round that looked so easy and secure. MODDII manages the kill against Dennis, but again, that bomb still has to be recovered and planted. 26 seconds to do so, not the issue. But the bigger problem is that olofmeister walks in completely undetected from market. And look at the angle he's got on that bomb.
I assume they thought he was still a short. He got those first 2 frags there. He's rotated back through the window and picked up his 4th frag of the round. Brings it down to a 1-on-1. 10 seconds remaining as well. Magic Boy's got no choice but to commit to this, and he's going to be taking the shots and actually manages to win the round as well. Olof, assuming, I guess, he's going to go for the plant and denied the ace by Magic Boy. Huge round for him to pick up there and going to force Fnatic onto the full eco this time. Big scenes there. That's interesting. It was a couple of blunders going on there. Obviously, the plant towards kitchen meant that they must have assumed he was going towards it, towards short, but there we go.
Yeah, good rotation, like you said. Just a reminder, guys, check out that Teespring link down below the channel. You buy one, you get a chance to win one that's signed by a number of the personalities and players here this weekend. I don't know. I don't want to decrease the value, but look at this.
Let's make sure
hugging the wall.
A prize people want.
Exactly. JW's in that window position right now, but we just saw it down below. Olaf was able to hug that wall. They checked it. They think it's open, or rather safe. It's not. Look how quickly Olaf's able to get behind Magic's Boy, and they know he's been lurking in this apartment. They know he's been playing here. This is going to be an AK that's theirs.
A knife.
Oh, is it going to be a knife? Oh, that's so awkward. Oh, poor Olaf. I'm so sorry.
Yep. Obviously trying to get the cash bonus there, but the timing slips away from him. As Magic Boy does survive, and the rest of his teammates will be making their way onto the A-bomb site. Should be a pretty simple procedure here. cadiaN takes down 2 Mac-10 kills. JW does reply onto AcilioN though, but this round is pretty much over. Just the interesting moment with the knife, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. Thought to be an AK. He thought he was being clever. I'll just discipline, make sure there's not someone else here. All right, got this.
I think it would have been okay if you went for the double stab. I think you would have got him. When he pulled out the PT-50, that's when it slipped away from him. Obviously, if he just went for the double stab, I think he'd been absolutely fine, but there we go. Olof does go down. No knife to speak of. As SK Gaming pick up the 3rd round. 3 plays 2 now. As we go into round number 6. And SK battling back after the initial pistol deficit. A couple of interesting rounds that have been touch and go for both teams. Obviously Olaf with that 4-man, not able to convert it to the round victory, but damage to the T economy, and they bounce straight back with that one. And Olaf missing on the knife.
Fortunately,
right now.
Fortunately, it was on an eco round.
Yeah, of course.
Like if that had been a gun round,
let's have a look.
Threw away something.
There's one stab.
Yep.
If it is stabbed again, I think he would have got it. But there we go.
Well, he was on 20, so yeah, absolutely.
We go into round number 6 now. It's going to be a more difficult buy for Fnatic. This is where you'd assume the aggression's going to come in. No kits, need to find the first frag. It's be Dennis pushing up middle.
See if they read this. They know that short smoke's available and that Dennis might want to push into it. Flash over top. cadiaN gets across, but Dennis is still able to pick up the kill on AcilioN. It looked like cadiaN just wanted to hold that angle, and then he got aggressive in turn. And look at the response. Olaf's right there to get the trade. It's now the man advantage for Fnatic, and mid secured. Magic Boy again going to be lurking over in the B apartment position. Start to wonder, is this getting all too predictable, all too one-dimensional? KRIMZ will cover off the shadow position. Oh, he's going to join in with Magic. And Friis is the 3rd player. He's waiting all the way over toward Palace. He's so far removed from his 2 teammates right now that seem to be wanting to approach the B bomb site. It's not even like he's doing anything to encourage a fake. MODDII's able to get JW, though. That's coming out from the underpass, so he was attempting to try and backstab them again. Magic's Boy's already spotted Olaf at least, but this is the problem. There's a 2nd man inside the site. Now they're going to send Friis in, but he goes down instantly to KRIMZ, so it doesn't even work out to pull anyone back. Magic's Boy, though, does catch off flusha. He's got to turn it back, and he almost takes down olofmeister, but it's now a 1-on-2.
Just MODDII remaining, 25 seconds as well. Has got the bomb. Should get it planted here as well. The problem for the CTs is no kits, so they need to act fast. Smoke will go down, taking no kitchen. MODDII is aware of Olof's position as well, but somehow KRIMZ finds it. I'm not really sure how, but through smoke, no problem. And that's the fast kill they needed to secure the round. As I mentioned before, the mentality of going aggressive on these sort of rounds is obviously it's more of a force buy. You had 5 rifles, no kits, no real nades to speak of, so Dennis needed to make something happen. He pushes up middle, Olof's pushing off short. They managed to get the man advantage, taking out 2 for 1. And then at that point, you're forcing the T's into do something a little bit more uncomfortable here. Just wanted to see how this did go down. So obviously MODDII planted. He's looking towards short, and then it's the shot through the smoke from KRIMZ just to secure things, I'm sure. That makes things a lot easier for them, so they're bouncing back. And the money won't be stabilized just yet. You can see Dennis is on the Famous, but they have managed to save the AWP on JW. SKF got one as well. That's dealt with very quickly as Friis picks it back up.
That's the AWP I wanted to see from JW. There's the first shot already. Olaf lobs that nade. That's going to do damage to cadiaN. Not much, but enough.
Just enough.
Take what you can get. Beggars can't be choosers. Right now, Fnatic, they may not be begging, because again, man advantage, they can sit back comfortably. KRIMZ trying to put himself above the smoke right now from Ticket Booth. Nade's going to go through as well. That'll do additional damage, but actually take that back. It just barely didn't. I thought it was going to catch that player, but instead he's rotated over to boost up cadiaN, so he got far enough away. Again, Magisk Boy's going to try and push this B apartment.
Yeah, he's just trying to get something out of this. Obviously, they're a man down right now. Need to find a pick. Olof's going aggressive on short. May find the orb of Friis there. Unable to spot him just yet as Friis looks towards connector. Just waiting for a pick. They're hoping a CT makes a mistake here. cadiaN almost was in luck there. JW decided to push through. Magisk Boy not committing to the B apartments just yet. All stale here as the T's trying to find anything they can to open it around. AcilioN's going to be boosted. Trying to make an opportunity work for it.
Oh, that was close. JW was holding it, waiting for it. They'll sneak past as a result. Now AcilioN's got a chance to try and take battle back too. JW, great shot. That pulls flusha back, and he does win the duel, but it's Space Made to try and take down olofmeister, who didn't have the support in place. He still manages to get Friis. They're stuck by him. They're going to try and just hold this plant. It's denied. Flusha, or rather it's Olof in the end. Regardless, it's stopped, and flusha takes down Magisk Boy. That almost came close to SK, at least getting a plant with a player still in apartments.
Yeah, well, AcilioN doing some good work there with the boost. Manages to take down the AWP as well. Fortunately for them, though, still two players waiting in the B-bomb site. Olof doing some big work once again and denies the plant. Obviously, the T's with no real choice there about the plant. I think there's about 10 seconds remaining, so just had to do what they could, planting in the smoke. It does get denied, and we go to round number 8. It's going to be SK Gaming on pretty much full eco here. They've got some P250s. I think I saw one player on body armor. That's going to be Magisk Boy. And flusha reading this quite well. He's the, I guess, not so much the recon player here, but just trying to build some money, baby, with the MP9.
flusha, he almost gets caught out with that nade. Manages to get back inside of the site. He's still dancing. He knows MODDII's here somewhere. Apparently MODDII's not a good enough dance partner. He executes him instead. Don't go to the ball with flusha. It's going to end badly, as KRIMZ is going to take down cadiaN, and the pistols amounting to not much at all. It's going to be Fnatic that comes to 5 rounds here, surely, as this one will end.
Yeah, it's going to be a simple round there for Fnatic. Not really much to report there. Like I said, pretty much full eco coming in for SK Gaming that round. So just flusha reading that, using the MP9, building up some cash bonus there as he takes down 2 kills. There's the lovely PCs on your screen the players are using, provided by Taurus. Shout out to those guys. And we're into the next round. This is the time where the mid control is not really working out too well for SK, so I'd assume I was going to say they'll mix it up and maybe a set piece and try and get a bomb down, but going for more of the same. No aggression shown from Fnatic this time, but AcilioN picking up the first frag towards connector. He gets KRIMZ and finally gives him the man advantage. They get smoke off window as well. That eradicates JW, and olofmeister looking to do the boost here potentially.
Oh, did he spot? No, Magic's actually, I thought he might have seen him when he went for the jump. He spots Olof instead, and now that comes to make it a 2-man advantage. flusha's going to try and get information, get aggressive, force the issue, and funnel the offense, but his timing's slightly off, unfortunately, because Magic's coming up behind him. Now, we've seen this play. Remember the famous Snacks play where he comes up and doesn't check behind him?
This is the thing. Magisk Boy...
They might get away from each other here.
I think he will find him, but he's making
he's
all
going
the
to be heard.
steps. There it is. Good job from flusha, getting himself behind enemy lines and catches his rotation as well. JW gets another kill onto MODDII and neutralizes it to a 3-on-3.
Dennis, he's also going to be disciplined. Great second shot on Friis, and now the round's back in their control. This was a 5-on-3. Acilion's brought it to a 1-on-1 with an equal display of talent to what Dennis just showed before. But the bomb's down in front of him, and JW's holding the angle with the op. Gets caught in the jump, takes some damage from that, and AcilioN has the time. This is a desperate and risky play to run in a linear direction from where JW is holding. If he had just shot and held connector.
If I was a T right now, I'd be faking this and going back towards A. And that's exactly what JW's predicting. Maybe trying to be a little bit too clever as AcilioN.
So Acilion's smarter than you is what you're saying?
Well, no, it's such a difficult call. But I'm saying if I was the player right now, I'd be under the impression JW's got. Like, oh, probably just stay A. He's obviously going to rotate towards B. That's not going to work out for JW this time. He has got the AWP in hand. And a player to kill and a bomb to defuse. So time is of the essence. He's going to have to make footsteps as he goes into towards kitchen. And you can see AcilioN is waiting there on the other side.
JW checking every possible off angle. He knows that this late arrival means that AcilioN can literally be anywhere.
Good round.
And he spotted him, but not fast enough. Great round from AcilioN. That was a big pullback because remember, that was 5-on-3, down to 1-on-3, back to 1-on-1, and then secured.
I think AcilioN got the initial kill towards connector as well. So Dennis, like you said, a great display of individual talent here. Picks up the first 2 frags, brings it down to the 3-on-1, and AcilioN going nuts. I don't think we caught the 2 frags he got to open it up, but... great stuff from him. He's had a very strong tournament here. money's not great for the T side. They've got 2 Tech-9s here, and JW back on the AWP. Not going to be smoked out this time, so we'll potentially have a chance to spot towards the top of middle. And there comes smoke now. They've crossed over. It's the mid control we're talking about. Just sticking to their guns with their strategy so far. Get mid control, try and work a pick, and then head towards as a pack wherever they find a pick. So nothing really to report so far in terms of aggression from Fnatic. They're holding back and allowing SK to work for it.
MODDII is the only one over toward that A side. Gonna fall off of this. olof's got decent position. It's a passive hold on mid from either side of it. One on the ladder, one on the connector, and KRIMZ is going to spot the players first. Flash is well-timed. He manages to hold his accuracy against cadiaN, but it's immediately traded. Now it's olof's turn to play, and he'll come out to take down AcilioN immediately after. It's a man advantage now for Fnatic. And can olof do better? No! Friis actually wins that one with the Tech-9. Puts him on low HP. Great shot by JW, better from flusha, because that drops the bomb, and that'll secure the round as we snap over to Dennis.
Yeah, very passive setup now from Fnatic. They're making the T's really work for these kills. They're not giving them to them, and most players from Fnatic stepping up. Crossfire's coming in. B-bomb side looking very strong indeed. Now then, this is where it gets interesting for SK. As I mentioned before, when this starts to deplete for them, the picks aren't really working out. You normally go to sort of A plays, try and get in. This time they've gone for Tech-9s and CZs, and a P250 for good measure as well. It's going to be a force buy with head armor as well and grenades. And back towards middle with 3 players towards Palace. So you'd assume this would be smokes over towards B, smoke over towards kitchen, towards the truck, towards the bench, flashbang over. If you can get that first kill and get a bomb down, you've got a real chance of winning the round. But JW finds the first pick onto Friis. And here we go, the execution comes in.
flusha flashed off. He got caught by that one thrown over top. That pushes him so far out of position that they're going to have 2 members already in the sight. These pistols, it's going to be too much for him to handle. Good position from JW, though, as he takes down MODDII. Bomb gets planted off of this. That's more money for SK to work with. We're keeping this game close. Remember, we knew it would be well contested. It's olof, though, to take down cadiaN, and they want back in quickly to get this defuse. They may just get that wish because AcilioN's stuck, trapped in a 1-on-3. Unfortunately, he did do good damage at olofF. He didn't really have the right angle on that.
Yeah, so SK Gaming was a force buy, but they get the bomb down, they get a couple of kills. Pretty much all they could have hoped for, really. I would have preferred them to go towards A. I think that's a much stronger approach. B is very heavily telegraphed, and it's such a tight choke point to actually get out of, but they make it work relatively well. We'll go to the next round, and they will be taking an eco here, so we'll see that force buy not really working out for them. I guess they were double eco anyway, so it's taking the risk, and it's good news for them. They got the bomb down, so next round will be a nice healthy buy. 1 smoke on AcilioN and a flashbang as well. He's got the smoke that looks like we're going towards spawn. And then you'd assume he'll be doing 1 flash as well, just to get his teammates out of the apartment as well.
Yeah, well, that's now going to be foiled. Oh, and there's segre. Oh, that's a problem.
That's a massive problem.
Dennis burns MODDII alive,
Ooh.
leaves Friis in the open. Dennis spots it, takes him down, and that whole plan of approaching it like a waterfall of men falling out of Palace doesn't really get anywhere.
No.
Just
well, to be
trickles
fair,
out
like,
slowly.
when
And it's
you've got,
red, not
when
it's
you've got 1
crimson blood.
smoke and 1 flashbang to play with, the play is going to be very difficult anyway. Great Molotov from the CTs to hold them at bay, and at that point it was kind of obvious as to what was going on. So a simple round there from Fnatic, and be interesting to see now we go to the next gun round how SK will be approaching it. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a pause now. Oh, they haven't. This is what I'm talking about. When all else fails, Matt, you go for the A plays with the smokes, and you try and make something work. Just to mix it up a little bit, you can check one of these set pieces in, and it's fine to do these from the beginning of the round as well.
This
You
could
don't
get
need
awkward.
control.
This could get awkward if they flash over and through. Dennis, oh, poor
yeah.
timing. That's a gift. They can take that. Smokes are correctly landed at jungle. MODDII's going to be the one to fight it in. He's got down to 15 HP. Watch out, he's stacked up. They're side by side. That gets awkward because now they've done good damage on cadiaN, who was trying to get down the stairs to help his teammate out. And watch this flank. olofmeister already there, and AcilioN caught out, just looking to throw a late nade in to help his teammates. Fortunately, the bomb's already been planted, so they're buying time in all of this, but olof's a real problem because they wanted to have the post plant inside of A main. They're not going to be comfortable. Good kill from cadiaN. That will allow them now to focus more, and Friis is the one to do it. Needs to be careful not to get caught with the nade out, but he's now isolated, alone, and smoked off. They can try and get on this plant immediately. The Molotov does buy more time. He may line them up. Friis gets 2. They burn alive, and they don't have this. What a play from Friis!
Oh my god. It looked like he was completely out of that round, but somehow the chance Molotov lands exactly on the bomb where he needed it to go, and he just denied Fnatic even getting a defuse there. You can see one of the players burning alive, and that's the Molotov right there. That wins the round. Had he not had that in his arsenal, it's actually an incendiary as well. He probably picked that up from a CT. He gets the double spray down with the assistance of the Incendiary as well, and that wins the round. That's a big one as well. Interesting stuff there, Matt. And that's what LAN final, or semi-final, I should say, are all about. Those big individual plays kind of swing the momentum. And Fnatic still able to do a full buy here. JW back towards middle with the AWP. MODDII just on the CZ, so they're still behind in terms of the money, but Fnatic looking to bounce back here.
And got Magic out of that underpass position. He's putting less pressure on the B apartments this time. Now he's starting to contribute toward this mid play. And get up close, they evade window, and they could try and get into the A site quickly. That's the plan. The plan so far is working, because JW missing that op shot. Can't get the pistol out in time. AcilioN with the kill.
Don't want to damage Dennis as well. They've got a great position here to get a bomb down.
AcilioN,
retake.
Well, this is the thing. Acilion's got the only smoke, and right now they do have 2 players on that CT stairwell. Nice shot up close by AcilioN, but he needs to get back, I feel, and get that smoke into play, because that would do wonders to hold out Fnatic. He's still right now locked out, though. 8 HP. Olaf to his right, just spotted, but not enough to get the shot. And Olaf's going to follow that bomb now down, and they can come back in from CT spawn. That might be enough for Fnatic in this round. cadiaN gets it back, and he's going to try and hold this. Magic's got to cover him. It's down 1, but it's come to the one-on-one, because immediately, as soon as cadiaN shuffles to his left after putting the bomb in place, KRIMZ was waiting for him. But the plant, the position, you would think Magic had that all day, and KRIMZ catches him off.
Oh, can hit a lot of...
I think they're trying to mock SK at this point, get under their skin a little bit.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, so Magic Boy, obviously, the one-on-one. Looked like he had a great position. You can see cadiaN probably questioning his approach to that one. Obviously, trying to surprise him, facing before the defuse comes in. Can be a very viable strat. The CTs don't normally expect it, but KRIMZ finds the dink straight away. Takes down Magic Boy in the one-on-one situation. AcilioN once again finding that initial pick as he came through Connect. He's been great at opening up the map for SK. We're going to round number 15 now. That has really blasted the economy of SK. Just Tech 9s and 1 Galil's player as well. I assume they're going to go for a very similar B player with the smokes once again. They did manage to get a couple of kills last time in a bomb, so hoping to replicate that sort of success, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a lot of... Yeah, that was huge. It's been a lot of plays on B when they've got these pistols. Again, they've got flusha forced off that van so they can at least get into the site. We've seen that work before too, though, and still not get them the round. What can they improve upon? MODDII says, oh, I can at least take Olaf. That'll help us in our efforts. But they've still lost a member doing it. And look at KRIMZ so quickly. Takes 2 through the edge of that smoke. flusha takes the bomb away from AcilioN. And just Boy is going for an off chance here that he can catch them off from the market. That's now given up.
Much you can do here. He's on a 4-on-1, just a Tech 9 in hand. Bomb is down on B. Time ticking away. And it's the last round. Obviously, he has to go for it, try and do something, but this is like a 99.9% ratio in favor of Fnatic. I'm not really sure what the options are. JW takes down the final kill there and brings it towards 10-5 in favor of Fnatic. Nice opening half from them. Looking very strong throughout. Were some interesting rounds there. Big clutch by Friis comes to mind. But ultimately, I think Fnatic have got the edge here. They're looking very strong in the CT half. A lot of clutch situations, Matt. If you think back to it, a lot of one-on-ones, or 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s. And those are the sort of rounds that define games. So Fnatic came out on top in most of those. Difficult times for SK. Obviously not out of it yet. 5 is a reasonable scoreline. It's enough to work with at least. Pistol would be absolutely amazing for them right now.
Be huge.
It would be huge.
Very, very huge. We already talked up SK's pistol play throughout the weekend, so...
Well, yeah, they're a great pistol team. They've got some very strong entry fraggers. Obviously, AcilioN, this series especially, has been phenomenal across the board, not only with pistols. Magic Boy as well can be very effective with them. Let's see what they can do. Obviously, on the T side, Fnatic, there's a couple of options for them. You go for a simple A play, like we saw SK do. Smokes going into some key areas. And then bursting in. This time, though, they've opted to go towards olofmeister.
Raid boss.
Raid boss. Anyone who's new to the game, raid boss is just a funny term for someone who's got Tech 9 and armor. The Tech 9 has been dropped by a teammate. He buys up armor. And
used to be known as Superman, I think, back in the day.
Superman.
Maybe just us North Americans called it that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of nonsense you guys have come up with.
Yep. We do tend to be pretty nonsensical at times.
Anyway, though, SK.
But at least we don't spend Christmas alone.
That's true.
Sorry, Henry, I had to.
My life. Thanks for rubbing it in.
Yeah, it was your choice. You sounded like you enjoyed it. But Olaf right now, as the raid boss, is sitting in the back lines. He actually wants to take the fight to mid. See if he can open something up, if he can get a read, because right now it does appear that Fnatic are very committed onto this B site, which I like this play. Has MODDII peeking and cadiaN in wait below the ledge.
Yeah,
and he can very quickly go overlooked in that spot.
Absolutely. So obviously MODDII trying to get all the attention here and allow cadiaN for the USB spray down. Obviously not the most ideal weapon in close range quarters, but let's see. This one goes down as a smoke flying.
MODDII definitely saw his arm there, but that flash caught him. He can't find the shots, but this is it. This is where cadiaN comes into it. He goes early. He actually doesn't execute trigger discipline because he doesn't care. He just wants to kill Olof. That'll work out, but it puts a lot of pressure on MODDII to come up. He's up to the task. He'll take the bomb away from KRIMZ, and look at the follow-up. Friis and AcilioN leave now JW in a 1-on-4.
Yeah, does smoke himself out. And that shot, though,
what?
Takes down MODDII. That was nuts. Not going to be enough to win the round, but definitely send a message to the SK side. Huge USB shot from there. Like we said, cadiaN does get the opportunity to spray down with the USB. And here we go. It's a little replay of that. Oh, it's kind of nutty.
Pew,
there
pew.
it is. Bang.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so that's the pistol round SK needed. Obviously, without getting the bomb down, it's pretty natural for Fnatic to be force buying the T side with the armor and Tech 9s. Got a couple of smokes as well, so it looks like we'll be favoring the B side of the map, actually making their way towards mid, as the bomb is towards A right now. It's going to be pincering with an A split, it seems. SK, quite defensive, have gone for a heavy rifle setup here. Just one P90 on Friis. As we work out where they'll be heading, as the bomb goes back towards T-spawn.
This is where AcilioN was very good yesterday. Was dancing in this CT stairs side of the A site. Not necessarily that exact aggressive position, but he was very, very committed to holding on to that A position and was doing so well, in fact, that they were able to afford early rotations off to the B site against TQM. They'll need a repeat. Friis as well. We talked about his AWP. If they can get the economy rolling, it's going to be a big factor. And Acilion's going full aggressive right now. They're going to flash him into A main. That flash will have been heard by JW, who's in Palace, but what it does is get a bit of a read on the offense. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too soon because they are slowly coming back into that A position.
Well, they still have some footing towards the B bomb site. It's going to be KRIMZ coming in with a full distraction play. Not going to make much of it though. MODDII deals with him, and here comes the play. Fnatic pick up the first 2 frags with the Tech 9s on the A bomb site. MODDII with it all to play for as he goes down as well. It's going to be the 4-on-2 now. MODDII and cadiaN to try and salvage this round.
cadiaN's dropped. This is big for Fnatic if they respond with an eco. We said SK needed the pistol to get it rolling, but how quickly would that suddenly get shut down? Olof wants to flank out. MODDII, he's going to do it perfectly. He's standing in the open.
So they went with Tech 9s and armor, a couple of smoke grenades, and a distraction towards B. And that look on cadiaN's face is one of
despair.
Yeah, I guess that's a good word for it. As, that's a horrible round to lose, considering they actually had the majority of their players towards the A side, didn't really find anything, and the players funneled their way into the bomb site. So Fnatic bounced back. Not going to be a force buy from SK. They're actually going to be just having a couple of upgraded pistols here. CZs, Desert Eagles, and Friis. Obviously the AWP will be sticking on silence USB to try and keep this money honest.
It's a little late. MODDII catches a bit of damage, but was able to get back in toward that ladder position. AcilioN, actually, wow, check that out. Friis jumping across, just got taken down very low, and as that happens, his teammates are all dying. He himself, actually take that back. MODDII himself will go back into flusha. He's dropped. 5 versus 2. cadiaN deep in B. Friis deep in A. Bomb approaching that side of the map. The A side of the map,
Just
but it won't matter.
cadiaN's gun is called cadiaN is a cutie. Calling himself out. He is quite cute, but
Probably gifted to him.
I
Leave him alone.
don't feel like his gun should be called that.
You said he had a funny face.
No, that's not true. He made a funny face. I said he's got a nice face.
That's not what I heard. This is a good spot for cadiaN to try and get a gun at least and do some damage. Is he going to be spotted? No, not yet, but Olof's seen the gun barrel protruding slightly beyond the edge of the wall and says, yeah, okay. You might as well have all 50 bullets just for trying to be clever.
Just for good measure.
Yep.
Really rub it in. Well, there we go. SK unable to do much of that. Obviously, just a few upgraded pistols, no nades, no armor. We didn't really think anything would amount of it, but there we go. Fnatic, after losing the pistol, come back in impeccable style. As we go into round number 19, 12 plays 6 in favour of the Swedish side. SK, you have yet another eco here. It's best one as well, just one people on a PC-50. KRIMZ pushing through the smoke takes a hell of a lot of damage, and actually somehow SK coming to life here, find the first 3 frags on short, and that's absolutely crazy. Could have leave JW and flusha. Pretty unwinnable situation. See what they can do with this one.
That was a big commitment, overcommitment arguably from Fnatic, and look at this. How efficient is it? All 4 still up. Wasn't supposed to be all 5 when I started that sentence, but flusha at least took down cadiaN. He's going to plant the bomb as well, so at least something to work forward in the next round, but he's still got a big task ahead of him. They've recovered a P90 and an AK-47. They need to read him pushing in, though. Magix goes down, and remember, there is low HP on 2 out of the 3 remaining players. They line up! This is a problem. This is disaster. It could be an ace clutch right now. I know it's an eco, but still, Flush has had to do so much just to get this far, and there's no kid. He's got all the time in the world to figure out what Friis is up to. He's going to try and hold this, but flusha needs to hit it. Okay, he does.
Oh, my God.
What an unfortunate turn of events.
Was that a 5-on-1 or a 4-on-1? I think it was
I believe that started out as 5-on-1. He took the first on cadiaN and then planted the bomb.
God. Those are the rounds that really do seal the deal. And flusha, as I called it out to be almost an unwinnable situation, somehow makes it work. And Friis, with the full defuse, pretty much all he could do in that situation. It was a 5-man from flusha there to win it out. Oh, that's just insult to injury at this stage. 13 plays 6, absolutely not from flusha.
He thought it was despair when they got ecoed, and we saw cadiaN's face the first time. That was their chance to get it back to recover, and I have to think that was equally as heartbreaking. Olaf takes Magic to start this off, and MODDII's going to try and get forward. But look at JW, he's already at the firebox. Takes decent damage from MODDII, but the call out, good response. MODDII able to snap over and at least get KRIMZ, but they're losing everyone here, and cadiaN's the last alive. Look at Olaf. I know what you're up to, bud. We've been through this before.
Olaf just helped himself to the first pick towards B. His teammates chime in as well. They're aware of where cadiaN is. It's just a matter of time, I think, before he gets taken down. Huge grenade. And they should seal the deal as well. Olaf takes him down. Oh, I'm still getting nightmares from that 5-on-1.
It was the perfect eco round to start it off.
They get the first 3 frags, get the 4th as well.
First 4 frags,
flusha
yeah.
picks up 1, and then he wins a 4-on-1 situation. And I feel like SK know which way this one's going. They buy into that round, and obviously they don't have much at all to work with this time. 4 Famases and a max 7. No kits, no real nades. Gonna have to go aggressive, like I mentioned on Fnatic's CT side as well. I need to find the first pick here. The Fnatic are ready. 3 players towards middle. MODDII trying to make something work towards lower ramp. Smokes them off. This is cadiaN. What can you do here? The max 7 gets taken down. And he's a 5-4.
Sacrifice himself to the gods was about all he could do.
Yeah.
The gods that are Fnatic, who with 2 rounds to claim will be facing a rematch against their Swedish counterpart NIP in the final.
Absolutely. And now the CT's desperate to find something here. We have got Magic Boy. Gone into the B apartments. Unfortunately for him, though, there's a full rotation forwards T-spawn. There is one player, JW, scouting out. Double orbs for Fnatic. I think it's just a matter of time.
Oh, they check it. That could have been so good. I want to almost say that he wouldn't have shot at the first player, so it's not like he was ready to react. He wanted the trigger discipline play, but KRIMZ is now going to get Friis. It all falls apart. It's down to just Magic's boy, as you mentioned, who's coming back over from that B side.
Oh, dear.
That's going to be at least map series point for Fnatic after dropping map 1 to SK in seemingly spectacular fashion. They've clawed back into the series with absolute vengeance in the next 2 maps. Inferno was convincing, and this one equally so far at least. 15 now versus 6.
That should be it. The fact they only get $3,400 into their accounts next round, we saw the money was on about 0. That round as well. All they can really do is get the Famases once again, maybe some max 7s. Could opt for 5-7 and grenades. Here we go, sorry. Scouts, Famases, M4, P90. No kits, a few smokes. Desperate times call for desperate measures as once again they push into underpass. 2 players actually going to be going towards the top of the middle. olofmeister flashes them off, then is getting the first frag, and there's Olaf taking down Magic Boy. This could be the final nail. Proverbial coffin now.
Dennis is caught out by cadiaN. It gives them some sense of hope in this round. It was 3 versus 3, but Olaf comes back, and Olaf takes down cadiaN, who walks out in the middle. I know what you're thinking, Henry.
I like it when you do that.
It was a similar situation, I know. But it is down to just AcilioN, and that's the only challenge left for Fnatic, and seemingly not a great one. JW solves it immediately, and they find themselves back in the finals at Fragbite Masters against NIP.
The problem is for NIP, obviously, there's no real advantage in the final. You get I think you get a map veto. You get to choose 1 map, you just don't play.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no winner bracket advantage in terms of you going, you only need 1 map or nothing like that. So everything's reset. Fnatic will be in the final. The problem is as well, they're looking incredibly sharp right now. They've had this great warm-up against SK, got their eyes in. First map is a little bit of a damn squib, but they come back with full force there on the last 2. You're probably watching that. I'm getting a little bit worried about the kind of form they're showing as a unit right now.
I'm just noticing the face on Friis. Obviously, they're a little bit disappointed. They wanted to do better than that, but I think they should still be pretty proud.
They're
Yeah, they
taking
should
down
be
their
proud of
Danish
this
counterparts, the number one team in their region right now.
They're not even considered the number 2, arguably. That's Dignitas, right? So, like, that's a big deal.
Sure. And the fact they've actually taken a map off Fnatic as well, arguably one of the best in the world right now. So I don't think you can be disappointed. As I say, first event with this lineup, the players you wanted to stepped up. Magic Boy had a great tournament and proved he can play at this sort of level. And I think there's more to come from this team in 2016. Like, keep an eye out for them. They're going to be at more and more events after this. It's a good platform for them. We talked about Fragbite being this excellent platform for these lesser teams who actually have a chance to come to these events. So I'm very impressed with SK. I think this was the logical conclusion. This is what the way it should have gone. We've got the final. I think we've kind of wanted maybe TQM should have done a little bit better, but it's going to be a great final.
Look, there was always going to be a good final in this tournament when it's this few teams and this much caliber.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the SK point as well, you keep referencing online results because that's all we really to go on. But if those start to translate to the LAN performances, they beat G2 to be here. Now G2 was rainless, but it was dry in G2 world. But that was still a big feat. That's how they got to this LAN in the beginning. And if they start to transfer those results more consistently onto LANs, if they start getting to more LANs, then that's a pretty promising.
Well, we know that they've got a reasonable strong map pool right now. It's a new lineup, a couple of months, if that, and they have 3 strong maps, 2 medium ones, and a couple of weak as well. So there's come back. Next event, the Cash needs to be strong. They need to work on Dust too, and then they're just going to get better and better. They've obviously got the talent lineup there. They've got I think they need to stick with this 5 and make it work. Give it 6 months. We'll see them strong.
Well, and the good news is obviously their goal has been, last time they failed to get the online qualifying portion, to get to Stockholm to qualify for Cluj. Yeah. Their goal is to get to the major qualifiers at the very least, and they've got lots of time to do so, where we know that one's coming up at the end of March now in Columbus. But that said, we're ready for the commercial, and Paula, I'm sure, is listening, or tired of listening to us talk, and ready to talk with Anders and Semler, so we'll join them after the break.
Som fått till Amerika. Där ska det finnas wifi i överflöd. Nu så bra. Nu får vi snart wifi så det räcker till alla.
Nu är den här! KRIMZ kraftfullaste routern någonsin! Äntligen är den här! Stanna båten, Carl Judith!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the C-Sports section. We are going to be going into another match here between Riktig Tuna and Riktig Grova. As we can see, both players look extremely concentrated and hungry to win. In fact, they're practically starving. You can see that Riktig Tuna is a bit intimidated by Riktig Grova's crispness, but we all know that it's not always the size that matters, it's the shots in the end. Damn, man, that was tasty.
Så Pokerstats.
Nu är den äntligen här! Bacon Clubhouse. Kolla på den. Se hur den smakar. Se hur den flörtar med din mun. Bjuder upp magen till dans. Välkommen in på en smakdans din kropp sent kommer att glömma. Bacon Clubhouse. Ja. Yeah.